Well, that did not disappoint. We are rolling. Six Nations 2024 is underway. France against Ireland in Marseille. If you've managed to make your way to this video and you don't know the result, then go and find that out before I go any further. In 3, 2, 1. What a performance by Ireland. A statement performance by Ireland. And exactly what that rugby nation needed after the painful disappointment of the Rugby World Cup. Not that they played badly at the Rugby World Cup. It was the smallest of margins that meant they went out in another quarter-final. But back on French soil, they put that right emphatically. What a performance. I mean, equally, France, they needed to bounce back from World Cup disappointment. You would argue even deeper World Cup disappointment. Such was the expectation on this French team on home soil. And unfortunately for them, well, disappointment in Paris back in October against South Africa in the quarter-final has just been compounded against another team in green. But this time it wasn't by a point. It was 38 points to 17, an absolute beatdown. And that's really everything that Ireland deserved and that France deserved, to be perfectly honest. A completely dominant performance. If you get value from the channel, if you love your rugby, hit subscribe, give the video a thumbs up. That'll help me find loads of other rugby fans around the world. I'm Tim, this is Egg Chasers, and congratulations to Ireland. I absolutely loved watching them over the last year. And here they are in 2024. Yeah, do you know what? There's going to be people that make a gag. Oh, there you go, Ireland peaking three months before and 3 months after a Rugby World Cup. But as I say, the margins were so small. That was, there's no other word for it, emphatic. And so let me run through kind of what happens. I'll give my thoughts on the game, on the occasion, on the other things surrounding it. So yeah, get stuck in the comments down below. What do you make of that? Where do you think, is that, how close to where these two teams are do you feel that is? How much of an effect does the players that weren't available make, and how much do you temper how you feel about it with that in mind? Thinking of France missing a few key guys, not least Antoine Dupont. Although I was watching it with my son earlier, down in the living room, and he said, Jason Statham playing for France. I didn't think Lukaku was that bad, actually. I thought he was all right. But I tell you who was absolutely immense, Jamison Gibson-Park. Oh, let's just enjoy some pictures of Ireland in celebration. There you go. I love that picture of Tadhg Furlong. But yeah, it was, and yeah, Paul Villemse. That's the big talking point from a French point of view that I will come to in just a second. But, oh yeah, and before the game, it was when I saw the tunnel faces, Peter O'Mahony's stare at the front of the Irish line, and then the camera just caught Tadhg Beirne. Wasn't he unbelievable tonight? Joe McCarthy was the man of the match, and I don't argue with that massively. Personally, I would have given it to Tadhg Beirne. His line-out steals, his breakdown steals, his ball carrying, his defence, he was heroic. I thought he was man of the match, and that's not just because he's in my Six Nations fantasy team and it would have given me an extra 15 bonus points. But I think he'll have scored me a fair few tonight. So yes. Oh yeah, and that man. Do you know what? Johnny Sexton, I'll say Peter O'Mahony and Jack Crowley, how will they be feeling right now? Peter O'Mahony, so proud to lead his country. Yes, he's done it before, but not as like the main man with his name above the door, the armband and all the responsibility. He is the man, and what a way to lead his team for the first time. The war god. Didn't it have his fingerprints all over that result? It was an Irish team which never took a backward step and won every one of the physical battles, whether that was the line-out or the breakdown, and just awesome defence. It had Peter O'Mahony all over it. But yeah, it was a try from Jamison Gibson-Park that got things going. Jack Crowley got the early penalty after some good Irish attack. Paul Villemse with his yellow card. And then the conversion came in from Jack Crowley. So it was 10-0 up. And when Jack Crowley missed a penalty, you thought, ooh, because it was straight in front of the post, 40 metres, maybe a couple of more metres out. And then Thomas Ramos scored a penalty. You thought, hold on a minute, that's effectively a 6-point swing. Ireland could have been almost out of sight, and now France are back in it. But then it was that boy, Tadhg Beirne, rolling back the years with a brilliant break. Fantastic hard line break and under the posts for a score. And that was just compounded for France by the fact that Paul Villemse got his marching orders. Although then they actually kicked into life, didn't they? And Damien Penaud scored a really lovely try. A totally unnecessary but wonderful dive that I love. I'm here for it. He scored a ridiculous amount of tries in 2023 and first game in 2024, and he's opened his account again. But his French team were shut down by a dogged Irish defence. It was 10-17 at the break, but after France had quite a good start to the second half and were keeping it quite tight and powerful and physical and going to the line-out maul, which was getting changed. But Ireland just had this knack of being able to soak up the pressure, win a penalty, and then all of a sudden they're 80 metres up the field and Calvin Nash is going in for a try. What a moment for him. Paul Gabrielague hit back with that try that went to the TMO for an age. Yellow card for Peter Romani in that. And you thought 9 points, 14 apiece. You know what? France can probably do this. But then Dan Sheehan, what a boy. And that was pretty much the game done. And France were just actually playing some quite good rugby, some little intricate interplays, but Ireland always had enough. And wherever you looked, there were guys that were better than their opposite man tonight. In the big key positions, think about number 8s. Oh my goodness me, Caelan Doris. What a player. Gregory Aldrit is amazing, but Caelan Doris was immense. You look at the open side flank, and Van der Fleer did a job on Olivon. You look at Hooker, and Sheehan did a job on Malvaca. Malvaca is amazing. Ramos, and in fact, that one, probably the one moment that summed up the game for me, I don't know what you think about this, but it was when France had an attack down the left-hand flank and Hugo Keenan just walloped Thomas Ramos and marched him backwards. And you thought, Ireland are just on it today. Were France off the pace or were Ireland on it? Is there a bit of both going on there? I don't want to take anything away from Ireland, but I also don't think, I don't know, if you played that game 10 times, I think you see that sort of a result once. Ireland may well win 5 or 6 of the games, but I mean, the manner of the victory is what really surprised me. You have to remember France are missing a number of key players, but, you know, Ireland have got a couple of guys out as well, so both teams can and will be better, but Ireland are going to have to go some to be better than that. A win like that in France is very, very rare. Jack Crowley, a word for him. Handed the reins and he absolutely bossed it. He bossed it. I mean, he had a pack of forwards that dominated their French opponents. That's always easier to play with. But the intricacy of that Irish attack, just loved it. So, yeah, what else to talk about? Yeah, just the rugby smarts at the breakdown from Ireland. I just thought they were just rugby IQ, rugby intelligence, decision making was just spot on today, and a deserved win. So some thoughts on the game and the broadcast of the game. Get your comments in down below. Again, this is just a hot take video. I will do another video in the morning with a bit more reflections and time to sit back. This is just straight off the top of my head. What do I think? Firstly, I don't know what broadcast you watching or what adverts you saw, but Motorway are sponsoring the ITV coverage of the Six Nations, and Lawrence Dallaglio is on it. Now, Motorway is a company which sells cars, and it's Motorway, sell your car the easy way. Anyway, it's that. Lawrence Dallaglio is on there going, she's a winner. She's a winner. I just found it quite funny that Lawrence Dallaglio is is like the voice you hear promoting Motorway the day after he got banned for 6 months from driving. Just found that. Well, I suppose that means he's actually selling a car, possibly. So maybe that makes sense. What else? Benjamin Kaiser is a fantastic pundit. Really like him. No yellow gloves tonight, though. It was too warm for that in Marseille. Just minor disappointment. Names on the back of the shirts. Ireland have normal size letters. What is the point of having names on the back of the French shirts when they're in like size 4 font? Don't get it. Peter Romani's tunnel face, I've already mentioned that. He looked like he was getting ready to go to a very dark place, and I was here for it. French TV directors absolutely love slow-mo, don't they? The French anthem is incredible. Just gave you goosebumps. I love the fact they brought the music down and just let the crowd belt it out. I mentioned in the build-up video that Marseille stadium is amazing. The atmosphere is incredible. Every time I've been there, was there a few times during the World Cup. And how much better were the anthems without a children's choir involved, like the World Cup? That was anthems as they should be sung. It was brilliant. Peter Omani, the war god. Yeah, that's another one I mentioned. The angles and the deception from Ireland's attack was amazing. Paul Willemse, brain dead. I mean, how's he feeling? He wasn't even in the French squad, and then there's a load of injuries happen. He's suddenly starting, and he only manages half an hour on the pitch. Well, actually, technically 20 minutes on the pitch, because he was off for 10 of them before he got his red card. Tyburn, amazing. He is, as I say, he was my man of the match. Tell me if you disagree with that. Joe McCarthy, though, totally vindicated the selection. There was a point that was made in a video after the preview that I thought it was a good theory, actually, that maybe inspired by South Africa, teams are starting to put some of their players on the bench that they want on the field at the end of a game. So maybe better players on the bench. And that might be why James Ryan was on the bench. No. Joe McCarthy was on the field because he's doing Joe McCarthy things. What amazing depth they have got. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. The other games have got some to keep up with that one. But I'll be on this channel reviewing it all. And I will be in Cardiff for Wales versus Scotland tomorrow. And I already cannot wait. Bring it on. If you appreciate the content on the channel, hit subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up. I'll see you on the next one.